Welcome to the Hopium Den. Let's get high. We might be playing the most addicting game of 2025. I did not give He Is Coming enough credit. I'm very excited to play this for you guys. For those of you who are way further in the game than me or have your own strategies, drop me comments. I'm always open to learn something new. I watched this, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago now, and I was pretty underwhelmed by the old NES graphics, and honestly I was just a little busy, so I didn't really give it enough credit for what it was. And then I just kept seeing videos, and people kept giving it positive reviews, and I said, okay, maybe I better actually give this a try. And then I'm hooked is the moral of the story. Pretty much we tried it, and I just wanted to play around with the audio for a run and see how it went. And I got so into it, I did 2 quick runs, and I hated the way the audio sounded. I turned the game music down way too low, and I actually really like... Interesting. Sorry. I actually really liked the music. So then I played around with a couple other things and kind of suppressing my keyboard clicks a bit. So this is where I ended up. But each one of those tests, I was like, all right, let's just do a couple minutes and see, and I want to see how the audio is with keyboard clicks, and each one of those turned into a run. So I've done about 5 runs now, varying degrees of success. 2 runs that stick out in particular that I was very successful with. One was a negative speed build with high armor, and that run went to crap because I made a terrible item choice towards the end. I took some yellow wings that if you have less speed than the enemy when battle starts, you gain attack, and I thought it was equal to the difference in your speed. So the fact that I was -3 speed, I was like, heck yeah, that to Leshen, I'm gonna gain 7 attack. No, my friends, it is you gain your speed as attack. So I tried fighting Leshen with -3 attack, and sadly I almost won. I had enough on-hit effects and shield and thorn. It was a pretty wild build. And then the second build I had that really popped off was just like a true speed build. But to kind of talk about the basics of this game, pretty much you run around the map. As you run around, you go through 3 day-night cycles. You hit different points or monsters, and they all have pros and cons. So on hit from the emerald, so this is not an on hit effect, so it's not going to count. I did turn on the auto fight, I guess for the first video. Maybe people really want to see what each minion does. So I'll try and just give you like a quick summary as I fight them. Let's see. I like having food. We can combine them in a cauldron, that's pretty good. Urchin, nice. So, different things here. They all have little subclasses. So the spiny chestnut and the redwood roast are both food. So if you find the big pot, you can combine those. If you get 2 of the same normal items, like the double-plated armor, or the redwood roast individually or different things, you can combine those at a golem. Merchants are pretty much the shop, so pretty expensive, but this is really, in my opinion, where you make your build. This is good if I want to continually keep armor up. So if nothing else, the first time I take 3 damage, I would heal for 3. Which is pretty good with Blood Moon Werewolf, because I want to keep my health up. I don't want him to proc that extra attack. Ooh. Interesting, so pretty much just negate their attack. I think Freeze would be really good to get all the way to the second form of Leshen, but then because his attack slowly scales, I don't think it would actually be good to fight through that. We're almost at the end of the night anyway. I'm going to take the health here. I love timing up the healing campfire towards the end of the night. Alright, so it was ruby, sapphires, and emeralds, but it's only on hit effects. And neither of these are on hit effects. Ooh. I still see the value in them. Or I just give up on this. I really think this is interesting, but the Bejeweled Blade is just better right now for me. That'd be up to 3 attack. I guess 2 attack, because I'm losing 1 with the crown. I think we just go this way. I might regret that if I hit a really good... Alright, so bears, we lost health. We gotta watch that. So I might regret that if I hit a really good on-effect jewelry later in the game, but they're pretty few and far between. So additional strikes are always good. Continued healing's good. Yeah, we'll try and do a big attack with an additional strike. That sounds fine. Waypoints are huge, because if we find something around here, we could always travel back. I don't know that we're strong enough to win this fight, but we're gonna try. I would love to make it to that campfire, to go in full health. It's gonna be really close, and we made it. Nice, we cut that one close. This should be a win because of the campfire. I really like the 2-speed the best, so I can actually see what's happening and still learn the game. So pretty much the double strike was our first attack. We're sitting at 3 because we have 1 jewelry item. As soon as we got exposed, we procced a little bit more armor for a turn. And that was kind of the main strategy of that fight. The bear, we took damage, but I do... Yeah, sure. So do we get a cauldron? I don't think that's a cauldron. Cauldrons are more like a witch cauldron, not whatever that is. But we can hit up the golem to at least combine our chestnuts. We'll merge those nuts. So something I feel like that's underrated that I've procced in a couple of my builds are sets. Like the redwood set, you get +1 damage every couple turns, and I find that extremely valuable over time if you're doing like a regen build or a heavy health build. As I say that, this is not really the redwood item I want, but because we're low health, we'll take it right now. Because we're low health, we'll take it right now. Where was our golem? So you can look at the map by clicking shift. It's faster for us to fast travel, so when you hit these waypoints, you come up, spacebar, and that skips you like an entire cycle of walking up there. Not my favorite, but anything helps. And I'll still take basically a heal and thorns off the start. But unless we get a really good thorns item from the merchant, I don't see this going well. I think I'm gonna pop this in here. Let's risk it. Cherry bombs. Do we risk the thorns too? Interesting choice. I think that's really my only damage, so I gotta keep it right now. Alright, let's go back to the merchant. We got a ton of gold. Don't love circling around the map, but we kind of have to, because we gotta hit something that makes our build pop. Bramblewood Vest isn't bad, but it doesn't really give me damage, so I'm gonna reroll. Okay, this is it. We are now a full Thorns build. Can I do a Thorns Bomb combo? Let's see who I'm fighting. Every other turn, Thorns isn't going to actually do much damage to him because it's every other turn. So I want that to trigger before these bombs, and then we get our Thorns. Alright, I'm going to have to focus on healing up. And we got to get to some new territory. Not much on the map. Let's try and do a circle, and maybe we can time up that campfire tonight. Nothing great. Did we go too far? No, we didn't. I don't know that I can beat him. We'll see. He hits so hard. I think this might fall short. Yeah, so what happened is because he took all my thorns first turn and I don't have a way to respawn them, my attack was huge, but then it just tanked. So, live and you learn. I still enjoyed that run. It was close. I just needed one better item to keep thorns coming, basically. We kind of were like a weird thorns cherry bomb build last time, but that's what the game's given us. I don't hate the horned helmet. We'll try it. Jewelry time. What do we got? Wonder if, like, these are the effects that one was gonna have. Alright. Just more chip damage on the brittle bark's good, because he slowly takes damage every time he takes 3 additional damage every time he takes any damage. I mean, it doesn't really matter on the stick, right? I'm not keeping the stick for long, but for now, I'll take the damage. Are bats gonna damage us? No, so we just take the free gold. Let's double back for the telescope. Anything unique? Not particularly. This is really interesting for an armor build. This doesn't actually trigger yet because I don't have any other technically redwood items. This is a wood item, but it doesn't count towards the redwood set. But I will take it because I like the redwood set effect. I don't see this fight going well. We're gonna need to find something. So I could take a second roast. I could take the helmet for the set. I like the idea of the roast here, because the only way I'm keeping it is if I get it better. But also, I'm gonna need this damage with the stick. On hit, restore a health. Oh, what are we gonna do? This build's not working. Guess we have to just take more health. Where's a merchant? Please, we need a merchant. Oh, down there I see his little hat. Alright. I'm gonna save the oil here because we might change up items first. So these are the wings that screwed my one run. Spend 2 armor, gain 3 speed. So Biddlebark Club only works if you have a ton of shield to stay from getting exposed. This is what I needed last run, 1 run too late. This only pops when I'm low health. These are not bad, but none of them are like Yes, this is what I've been missing. So, needless to say, I'm in a lot of trouble. I think the featherweight helmet's just too good to leave. And then I just gotta risk it. Have to get an item that gives me attack. We didn't change out weapons. For now, I'm gonna need something which needs to be speed, so I'm triggering that. So it looks like for the redwood set, you actually have to trigger all three. I think I was thinking of the leather set. You only need 2 for the leather gloves and maybe the vest. Because I don't think I'm going full redwood here. So I think I'm just going to see if I can make it through this fight and then scrap it. We are full health. The armor does nothing right now. I don't particularly want to combine it. So I'm just going to take the frost trap. But I think we're losing. We will see. We don't have multi-strike. We do have the earrings, so if we can stay alive long enough for the earrings to prop, we're doing something, but I don't think it's enough. Okay, we at least have the freeze on, so we're taking less right here. And we're healing a little. But now he's back to normal, and we don't have the horses to get through. 2 bad runs. Alright, we need 1 good run this video. I need some coffee. That's what we're missing. That's good stuff. Gotta get those brain juices flowing. Oh, the RNG gods are in our favor. They hurt us. Whew, lots of options here. I love the whetstone if you're getting multiple strikes. 6 gold at the start of the day because it's so early in the run is just insane. We can go crazy at the merchant. But freeze would pair really well with like having high armor, so I'm taking less hits early on, and then with like that brittle bark staff, right? If I'm not losing my armor, I'm still having big attack. But I think the one that scales the best is probably just the gold, because if we can just rack up money here, that's going to be huge the first time we hit a merchant. And there are items I can buy from the merchant for a Thorns build that I want to try because I do think it goes crazy. So this halves our attack, but we get 8. We'll take that for now. I think that pretty much gets us through these little guys. Here's the start of the leather set. Yeah. Uh-oh. Are we dead already? I shouldn't have fought the bear. Watch. Oh, alright, note to self. The bears are no joke. I have learned that the hard way in another run. Oh, we could have just made it through that first day and hit the merchant. We were cruising. I think the redwood rod in and of itself is like a pretty good item, but I just don't see that set being phenomenal. It pretty much is just health on health. Oh, the game's feeling bad for us. Okay, I took this for a couple reasons. We need to stop fighting bears. The reasons I took this are because I like speed off the start fighting these minions like the wolves. And also it's just gold and it gets us close to that rawhide set. So now if we can get some shield, we kind of go crazy. So we need to expose this guy as quick as possible. We'll take the boomstick here. It's not amazing, but I need something else. So wolves we can fight for free. This is terrible against him because I need to expose him as fast as possible. This, no, I mean, it would be good against this one guy, but... Ooh, so this gives us a chance at thorns, but this gives us some rawhide action going on. We are very, very weak. We don't have a ton of gold for the merchant, but I'm going to need something for this build. So, deductive reasoning, right? If that is close to us up there, probably the oil's down here. I've figured that one out. It's not just what you pick, it's also what you don't pick. You can kind of figure out. Okay, we definitely need more attack. That was free. He should be free. We ferry this. Yeah. Okay, not great, not bad. And then we keep working our way to the merchant. You were free. I would love a campfire. But I don't know that we're going to get that lucky. Alright, we can time that up tomorrow night. So kind of have a speed build going right now. This goes crazy. Alright, we need 2 more gold. That's all there is to it. And we want this waypoint because that merchant's close. I don't have a way to heal, so I don't really love this. But I also don't think I'm keeping the boomstick for very long. Alright, so we gotta get back to the merchant and here. I might have overextended grabbing that. Oh, I should have fast traveled. Alright, we need this for the additional strike. I think we gotta give up on the diamond leather, but I'll try and stick with it for now. We've had bad enough luck with these runs. Alright, so let's see if we can cheese it a little bit. Got fast travel there. Does this cost us time? Okay, that gets us closer to the campfire. We've made it. I honestly think that saved us. Oh, if I wouldn't have fast traveled, we were dead. Alright, so we got the additional strike here, so that is our one saving grace, trying to just get through his shield. We need to expose him. Now we're doing thorns. He's... Yes, let's go. Alright, not pretty. We still have a lot of room to grow in this build, but at least we made it through the first fight. So we get an additional strike, so now the whetstone's crazy, because that first turn we're doing way more damage. None of those. I'm not sold on this weapon. I need something else. I really like the featherweight blade here. I think that very much fits what we're trying to do. But I do think the saffron feather is our best bet healing-wise over time. Alright, so we need another rawhide glove now that we found that golem. Could get a new edge on this weapon, but it's going to cost me a lot of money. I would rather just find a new weapon first. But hidden dagger is not the weapon we need. So this is crazy. But then we have no speed to keep healing. But I do think an additional strike is just great long term. I just couldn't commit. We just don't quite have what we need to go all in on that right now. I am looking for the leather gloves, baby. I'm gonna leave that there, hoping we can hit something here. We have 2 golems exposed. Let's pick a merchant. Nice, close that way. We're back to full health with this speed build. Okay, leather vest. At least we can go merge these. So our golem that was by the waypoint is right here. So we hit golem first. Alright, so the only thing we're missing in this set is these shoes. Eventually we'll have to get those. And then we're actually gonna cheese the system and come back to this waypoint. And let's see what the merchant's got. We reroll once. This would have gone crazy. Okay, so this goes nuts with the whenever you gain an additional strike gain. These two would have went so wild with the spend my speed. It would have given me multiple permanent strikes, and then I could have got, you know, like damage oil or something on it. So to gain 3 speed in an attack, and then I would slowly take that speed and put it into health. So I actually really like both of these items. This is a must. I need 2 more gold, and then I'm going to go buy the other one. There's our 2 gold. Could have fast traveled a 3rd time, but I didn't really feel like cheesing it a 3rd time. Alright. So we want that to proc first. The order of these does matter. I'll actually do this just to make sure I gain speed. The Monarch does damage for how much money I have. That killed me 1 run, so I actually love that I'm at 0 money. I would just speed fight him right now. You can do that by hitting escape and then just fight the boss. But because I'm kind of in a circle that I've already done on the map, I don't want to waste that time the next day, so I am going to start running up. I do think we probably win this with the extra strikes and the whetstone, but we're going to find out. So we should be hitting 4 times. 4 times for 5 is a crazy 20 damage first turn. Now it's a battle of attrition, but I heal as I take my speed, so I should just be able to slowly out-heal. I'm going to speed it up because it's going to be a slow battle, but we did it. Got him. Alright, now we're to Leshen. We have more speed than Leshen, so we don't need really more speed items. I would like the boots to finish the set, considering this is a battle of attrition. Let's see, the first form has big attack, so this would be nice. But the second form scales attack, so it's useless. And the second form's what I can never beat. Oh gosh, I gotta get out of this circle that I've already done. I've wasted an entire day. I don't actually love that. Citrine yellow, I don't know what that is. New merchant. Shoot, I ran right by him. I only have 2 gold. I gotta keep going this way. I don't actually love those boots for what I'm trying to do, but it gives me something. And I still have this, so I do want to head back here. Alright, let's get an edge on. These are terrible edges. Why did I come back to this one? I can take the damage because I have healing, and thorns will be good on the second form because his attack's so low in scales. Then we merge these. And then I need to quickly go find something better. Which is probably a merchant, but I'm about out of gold. So I'm just in a bad spot. Oh, if I could get into this grave at night. I missed it. Pot, I don't have any food. Alright, I gotta prioritize getting back to a merchant. That's the only thing that's gonna give me a chance. This would be a new edge, which isn't bad. But I don't know that I can hit that and run up to the merchant, but I need to try. I mean, do I need a new edge? I have the Thorns isn't bad for his second form. I think I like the Thorns better than either of those. Oh, and I'm gonna go into the fight not full health. This might be ugly. So we could get a second featherweight helmet. I actually don't hate the granite crown because my base armor, like having higher top health, allows me to heal a little. I don't think we can afford to steal more armor because his first form does hit so hard. Man, I wish I found oil. Maybe I should have prioritized oil. I gotta get through 50 health. But he's hitting for 7. We gotta pray for a miracle. Let's see what we hit. This is it. That's really good too. But this has to be it, because I am gaining speed. So now when this gains me speed, I gain the armor right back. Which isn't perfect, but I need that initial armor. Then I don't think I make this campfire. Nope. Alright, let's see how this goes. We were close on this build, but I do think I needed the oil and a bit more damage. Because the first turn, my damage is crazy, but then I don't have a great way to scale. And I think I lose the battle of attrition against the first form here. He's just hitting too hard without armor. Ooh, we were close. That's kind of crazy. Alright, I'm enjoying this enough. We're going to try one more run. Trying to give you guys a win here before we call it. We at least got close there. Sure, we're just going to take the food. I don't like fighting hedgehogs off the start. That thorns they have is brutal. Let's find out where a golem is. That's pretty important for the early game. And we start working our way down there and just praying we get lucky. Okay. Don't love that, but not bad as long as we can heal it off. What a combo. So the only problem here is that I lose that entire stack of thorns the first time I'm attacked. So that's huge damage the first turn. Honestly, this sword's just really good. And it's on sale. Ooh, no more fighting spiders. Alright, we need some... I want the shield, but I really need the health right now. We actually can't fight anything because of that ruby ring. Unless we get some shield. I think the wolf kills us. I need something other than this. I like it, but I just can't have it right now. I'm dead. Alright, so now we're getting some armor. The only problem with this build is it's not going to scale. I missed it. I figured I would. That's okay. Now we circle back to the jewelry. Made 5 attacks, just pretty crazy. My speed is trash. Alright. We take that, we get back up to the golem. We are very slow, but in a way we're also pretty strong. We have some armor, but not great armor. I do think if I'm doing a stone build... Oh, this isn't stone. Interesting. I mean, I think this is the way that I need to scale my attack, unfortunately. I just don't know that it's enough, because I'm going to lose my armor. Because the way to beat the Brittlebark Beast isn't big hits for 8, right? It is small little hits over and over and over, so you're proccing the 3 damage. I do have just enough to get through, but I need to be careful here. I think you were free. I'm gonna risk it because I needed to. We're gonna keep what we have right now. There is a way to scout who you're fighting, but I don't know how to do it. Like scouting little monsters. Alright, let's get an edge on this. And I think we just need... Either of these are pretty good. We're just going to need more attack. We got to hack through this guy as fast as possible. Okay, bears are worth 2 gold. Only because I have that sword. More shield is important to us. More damage is important to us. We're slowly healing, thanks to the redwood cloak. That's where, like, it's not important to my build, but I've also kind of needed it, so I just gotta stick with it for a second. Yep, we've got the armor build going, we take that. Alright, we need to find a merchant, even if it's the one I already hit. Which it will be. Alright. This would be great if I had a way to consistently heal, but I don't. Trigger all of my wounded items. That's interesting. I didn't know that was an item. I don't hate this just for a big damage, but it's not what I need. Okay. So then when I would get exposed, I'd gain 13 armor, which would keep this proccing, which I think is more valuable than gaining it when I'm wounded. Alright, so we need to take this over this now. I have enough money. I think I roll down one more time. I mean, this goes crazy, but the problem with... Yeah. I mean, I now am proccing armor initially when I'm exposed and when I'm wounded. So I've got 3 different cycles of armor. So I definitely need a little bit more. I am going to keep running around the map because I can collect gold at night. Wouldn't hate another edge. And because I really want to get out of the area I've already explored. Jewelry would be good. More armor is amazing. More armor is amazing. Okay, we're up to 9. That's pretty big. I don't want to fight the crow, because I have lots of gold and no speed. We take more armor oil. And we found a new merchant. Okay, let's just look and plan ahead. That's amazing for each stone item. We've got multiple stone items. That's 9 more armor. You have 0? No, we have way less than 0. Alright, we hit this, we go explore this, and then I think we just skip and fight. Oh, do we try a mini boss fight? Maybe. I don't have food to combine. I don't need a better... Alright. So let's get back up to the merchant. And we fight him a little early. Alright, our armor's insane. With our armor, we gain damage. That's the premise of this run. As we lose armor to the thorns, we are going to trigger it when we are not only exposed, but when we're wounded. So we basically get that 3 armor 3 different times. Easy, easy dub. And our gold goes crazy. Now we hit him and we buy this. And we're going to re-roll. I do think with the battles of attrition, this just kills me. I don't have enough health. No. We do this. That triggers with everything else. Honestly, I really don't know how we're going to make this better. I guess I could get 1 more oil for speed. I think this is as good of an armor build as I've seen or been able to make. So I'm going to work my way down to the mini boss. The Silk Weaver Queen lures the unsuspecting with beauty and whispering promises. Many step into her grove, entranced, never sensing the web until it pulls tight. I mean, we're fighting her at the right time. This is kind of the end game. I didn't even read it. Steals 1 speed. No. So I'm the worst build possible for this. The only thing that might save me is how much shield I have. Because she is just going to keep doing 6 damage a turn. Easy dub. This is amazing if you have the right build, but I do not. An attack a negative fine sounds terrible. Bomb build, that goes crazy. And this is only a couple extra damage. I have enough armor, I want the damage, don't want to restore health. We're full health. I really don't think there's going to be anything that helps me take this build further. I will hit this merchant just to see, but I doubt it. This would go crazy against the first stage, but not the second. So the only thing here is max health. I don't have a way to heal up to max health, so I really don't think that helps me. Tell me if I'm wrong. I'd love to know. And none of those help. Ooh. So 5 armor with another food. And that. This actually does help. Because that gets my health up a little bit. Okay, can we find a campfire to just heal and then fight Leshen? There's a campfire. Do I have a waypoint by it? Yeah, fairly close. Alright, we hit this waypoint, we work our way to the campfire, and then we fight Leshen early. You know, this might help, but I really don't think it will against Leshen. So here we go. This is my best run at the full armor build. I want to see how this procs. So 5, 3, 18, 5, 33. And now it's just a slow battle. I'm doing more damage. I have way more armor. That same armor is going to trigger at exposed and wounded. So I do think I win this. This build feels really strong. And it also showed off the value of having the extra gold. So he's going to gain attack, but his first 10 turns of attacks is not going to do anything, and 10 times 8 is 80. So I do think we win this. I'll slow it down towards the end. Okay, so he's getting through my shield now. He breaks it. I get 13 back. That protects me one more turn. He's within 2 shot. Ooh, that's a huge hit. Oh, I only got 5? It didn't count all my item effects as my base armor. That's wild. I wish I could reread them just to double check. Interesting, because exposed gave me 6 plus my 7 here, so that's how I got to 13. And then this, I guess, only gave me my base before these procced. I guess I was thinking base would be before the start of the fight. So this was actually pretty underwhelming. Man, we were close. What could I have done to push that over the top? I would have needed to keep that initial jewelry that gave me -3 health and +2 attack. At 10 attack, I would have killed him in 10 turns and won before this procced. But the problem was I had to ditch that because I was literally just dead early game if it procced one more time. Oh, that was a really fun armor run. We were so close there. Hey, hope you guys enjoyed. I'm pretty addicted to this game, so for now, until another longer term story strategy game really grabs my interest, we're just going to keep dropping a series of this. Have a great weekend.